Estás viendo Canal América, televisión dominicana para el mundo.
A Time for True show is sponsored by the Office of Dr. Bernard Fialkoff, a periodontal, dental implant and laser specialist in New York City, for over 40 years. Dr. Fialkoff was honored by the International College of Dentists and Pierre Fauchard, and received the Presidential Lifetime Humanitarian Honor from the White House. Call us at 718-229-3838.
Sometimes life can be so damn hard. You don't know where to go. Everything keeps falling apart. Yeah. You try to do your best, but only God knows that you've given everything you've got. But the world takes you down. You just keep moving on. Let your fears.
Welcome to A Time for True show. It's a pleasure to have you with us again, and I'm your host, Dr. Bernard Fialkoff. A lot of you have been wondering, how do you get availed of all the previous episodes over the last few years? Very simple. Go on YouTube, click on A Time for Truth show. That's A Time for Truth show. And you hit the subscribe button and you'll become one of our members. We'd love to have you. And you'll be availed of all the previous episodes. Tonight we have a really informative session because we're going to go over many things that we're actually doing to help with the drug problem that's ongoing in our communities, in our country. We had 109,000 Americans die of illicit drugs in 2022, which, for comparison's sake, the entire 10-year Vietnam War was 58,000 American deaths. That's in 10 years. In 1 year, we lost 109,000 Americans. So if you multiply that by 10 years, you'd get 1,090,000 Americans compared to 58,000 in the entire Vietnam War. So it behooves us that we need to do something. We can't just sit back and just do business as usual. We need to move forward. And so tonight's show is to give a little bit of inspiration that we are doing things and to show you what our group, between Drug Free World, the Harlem Globetrotters, and something exciting that we'll present at the end here, what we're doing with bringing some positive education, positive energy, and alternatives to get you to feel good, to feel energetic, to feel like, you know, you're winning in life. You know, nobody wants to keep losing. You want to win in life. Life is about achieving your dreams, your goals. So let's first start with something that occurred a few weeks ago, the Dominican Day Parade, which was held in New Jersey. It was on a Sunday. It was a very interesting event because it was torrential rains. The rains were so heavy. I have never seen them so heavy. But yet, somehow, like a miracle, they lifted. And the parade went off magically, and by the middle to the end, the sun started coming out. And it was amazing how the positivity of the parade and what we were doing cleared up the weather. So let's show you, we have that video for you, of the Dominican Day Parade in New Jersey a few weeks ago. And you can see what we were doing with bringing promotion towards education against drugs. Let's put that video on for the viewers, engineer.
Vamos a conversar con el doctor Bernard Fialkoff, que viene haciendo un excelente trabajo, y yo quiero felicitar al doctor porque esa tarea de llevarle mensaje de lo que es la prevención, de lo que debe ser ese mensaje tan importante a nuestra juventud, más que todo, de que debemos decirle no a las drogas y sí a la vida, porque es penoso ver tantos jóvenes y no tan jóvenes que han incursionado lamentablemente en el uso y consumo de las drogas y han terminado su vida no de muy buena manera. ¿No es así, doctor Fialco?
Muy buenos días. Es un placer estar contigo otra vez de nuevo.
Como no, un placer para mí. Yo realmente lo felicito a usted, doctor, por ese excelente trabajo que usted hace a nivel de lo que es llevar ese mensaje de prevención contra el uso de las drogas, esas sustancias que hacen tanto daño a nuestra vida, a nuestra salud y a nuestra existencia.
Tú sabes que es algo que tenemos que hacer, porque si miramos que el último año perdimos 109,000 americanos y en la guerra de 10 años de Vietnam, en 10 años perdimos 58,000. En un año hemos perdido 109,000. Imagínate, en 10 años es 1,000,000. Tenemos que despertar y tenemos que ver la verdad del daño que está haciendo las drogas ilícitas.
Es importante llevar el mensaje un poquito hacia arriba, su micrófono,
Sí, okay,
doctor.
muy bien.
Es importante, digamos, ¿no vamos a publicidad? A ver, digamos, es importante llevar ese mensaje porque es penoso ver tantos jóvenes, prácticamente niños, que ya están incursionando con el uso de esto, la vepa, no sé cómo
El vapeo.
el vapeo.
Eso
Entonces,
es muy, tú sabes, eso es muy
Ajá.
peligroso, es muy buen tema de hablar en unos segundos que tenemos. El vapeo es muy peligroso y mucha gente no se dan cuenta. El líquido de los sabores, nada más, el líquido seca la boca, causa caries dental, problemas en la encía y de los pulmones. Now, después de eso, los sabores son tóxicos y causan algo que se llama en inglés popcorn lung. Es popcorn lung. Eso es del sabor nada más. Entonces hay otro sabor que es como cotton candy y eso ayuda al transporte de los metales que son tóxicos, como el plomo, el arsénico, el níquel, esas cosas. ¿Por qué te digo esto? Porque el metal que calienta el vapor tiene esos elementos tóxicos en ese metal. Entonces imagínate, un joven dice, oh, pero papá, mamá, tú eres en tiempo antiguo. No,
Sí.
yo estoy más vapeo de sabor. Eso nada más, hace mucho daño. La última cosa es la nicotina.
sí, sí.
Porque la nicotina también está en ese vapor y casi todos los sabores tienen la nicotina. Y la nicotina en un joven, a donde el cerebro está desarrollando, la afecta irreversiblemente. Entonces la inteligencia baja y eso no va a cambiar cuando ellos paran de usar el vapeo en el futuro. Eso sigue por la vida entera. Eso es un tema muy importante que tú sabes, mencionado aquí.
Igual que el vapeo, también está el uso de la juca, ¿no? Que también hace tanto daño.
Tú sabes mucho. Déjame decirte, la juca
Sí, sí.
es muy peligrosa porque la marihuana, cuando tú y yo fuimos al liceo, era como 1, 2 o 3% de THC, que THC es el elemento que se hace volar, ¿ok? Y en nuestro liceo 1, 2 o 3 era suficiente. Ahora el marihuana hoy en día tiene como 15, 25% del THC. Entonces ellos están volando mucho más, pero entonces vamos a ponerle un hookah. En un hookah sube esa marihuana a 80 a 90% THC. Y entonces, ¿qué está pasando? Que esa gente acaba en el hospital, tienen problemas psicóticos, suicidios, entonces se matan. Muchas cosas muy peligrosas que pasan con el hookah y la marihuana.
¿Y qué usted opina, doctor Bernal Fialco, con relación a la aprobación del consumo de la marihuana? Que hemos visto ya que Nueva York se ha convertido en marihuana por todas partes. Estamos entrando a los edificios y estamos entrando con el bajo, con lo que significa eso, el humo y el bajo de la marihuana.
Tú sabes que es muy extraño lo que está pasando. Te voy a explicar por qué. Te voy a explicar, y a ustedes que están mirando este show, científicamente, no mi opinión como doctor, científicamente, tú sabes, el Instituto Nacional de Salud de los Estados Unidos, NIH, y del CDC, el Centro de Control de Enfermedades en los Estados Unidos, ellos han estudiado marihuana. Y no hay duda que es una puerta primero a las otras drogas más fuertes, eso es conocido. Segundo, que afecta el cerebro también de los jóvenes. Ellos no pueden aprender igual y es algo que pasa en el cerebro de los jóvenes. Y también afecta a las mujeres embarazadas. Entonces, la mujer embarazada, si piensa que está normal usarlo y usa la marihuana, su bebé nace psicótico, neurótico y con problemas de atención. Es muy, muy loco lo que está pasando y no está basado en una ciencia. Con la ciencia no debe estar legalizado.
Muy bien, doctor, ya por ahí viene lo que es el inicio de la parada dominicana acá
Sí,
en
la
Patterson. Ya viene ahí lo que es la presencia de la policía, ¿verdad? Y las autoridades correspondientes en lo que será este gran desfile dominicano, edición número 34. Doctor, aparte de llevar ese mensaje en contra del consumo y uso de las drogas, también usted es odontólogo. Habla un poquito de eso, de su rama en cuanto a la odontología.
Sí, yo soy un cirujano de implante dental y de cirugía de encías, enfermedades de encías, para preservar y proteger los dientes de mis pacientes. Cuando han perdido sus dientes, entonces podemos hacer injertos de hueso para poder insertar los implantes dentales, que son un milagro. Yo ya estoy en estos 41 años y estoy en Queens, en Bayside, New York, a donde yo tengo mi práctica con mi asociado, que es el doctor Hong. Es un coreano, yo soy un cubano y por eso, tú sabes, tengo muchos pacientes de toda Latinoamérica, Centroamérica, del mundo y en general somos como las Naciones Unidas de dentistería.
Qué bueno.
Gracias por preguntar. Yo ni hablo de eso porque tú sabes qué, te voy a decir algo muy interesante.
Ajá.
Es bonito sonreír y los dentistas queremos hacer anuncios de que podamos producir sonrisas bonitas,
Sí, sí,
confianza. Pero tú sabes qué es una sonrisa linda si la persona no está sana y está usando drogas. So, un mensaje que yo quiero dar ahí a nuestros televidentes: vamos a educar a nuestros jóvenes, vayan a este lugar que se llama vidasindrogas.org, drugfreeworld.org, descárgalo gratuitamente, 22 idiomas, y después de hacer eso, con mucho gusto, ven a nuestra oficina a tener una sonrisa magnífica porque hacemos un trabajo muy fuerte.
Excelente, excelente. Entonces me gustaría su contacto, aparte de las páginas sociales, aquí las redes. ¿Cómo puede localizar usted directamente su oficina?
A la oficina. La oficina muy fácil, con la música aquí atrás, muy apropiada. Tú sabes, me encanta. 718-229-3838. 718-229-3838. Puedes hablar con Betty, Marcela, Mabel o Osvaldo, y si no pueden, escriben un correo electrónico a bernardfialkovdds@gmail.com, bernardfialkovdds@gmail.com. Con mucho gusto te ayudamos a tener una sonrisa muy linda y muy funcional para disfrutar de los plátanos fritos, el aguacate, la ropa vieja, todas las cosas buenas que tenemos los cubanos.
La ropa vieja, que es una comida cubana muy buena, me encanta, ¿eh?
Sí, yeah. Mi mamá era un cantadora, como ella, tú sabes, cocinaba, y increíble.
¿Y a usted le gusta también el tasajo?
Tú sabes, ese no, y también antes de ponerme en peligro, y mi esposa, que es venezolana, también, ella es increíble como cocina a mí. Y a mí me encanta, tú sabes, vegetariano,
Sí,
más
sí.
que eso.
Sí,
Ella me
sí.
hace muchas cosas Thai y esas cosas me encantan.
Bueno, excelente. Entonces, para adelante siempre un mundo libre de drogas, ¿eh? Excelente.
Tú sabes, un mundo sano, feliz y libre de drogas.
Excelente, excelente. El doctor Bernal Fialco, parte de nosotros.
Muchas gracias.
Bien, vamos entonces a seguir con una breve pausa y enseguida vamos a volver con esta gran cobertura de la gran parada dominicana de Patterson, New Jersey, edición número 34.
So there you have the New Jersey Dominican Day Parade and that interview that I received while we were there. Our group was there, Drug Free World, the Americas chapter, giving out booklets throughout the whole area. We met a very, very important man, the founder of, supermarket group, Francisco Marte. And, we were speaking to him, And he said, you know, it's so important that we've got to protect our kids, our youth. And it was nice to meet him. You know, the Dominican Council, Eligio Jaquez was there. And, you know, many, many other dignitaries, community members. It was a beautiful day that Sunday. And now we'll give you a little bit of, you know, the mystery that I was talking to you about, because we've also been planning a basketball drug education, I don't know if you would call it an event or party or combination, but we're going to have that, and it's something that between the Harlem Globetrotters and Drug Free World, we're doing with national governments, local governments, local dental associations. This one happens to be with the Honduran National Dental Association, headed by President Marcos Garay, and the other executive, Dr. Mario Pinel, who also has a climate change group. And so first, we want to give you some of the pizzazz and flavor of what's going to be happening there by showing you a video with some of these players that Harlem Globetrotter Robert Hunter has put together for this special event. Let's play that video, engineer.
Zion Fortune, this is what you're about to see in Honduras. My name is Chris Willis. It's time to get active in Honduras. I'm gonna let my game speak for itself. Okay, go. Shoot Jackson, I'm coming to shoot the lights out.
So there you have a little bit of the flavor. And, you know, we're going to be playing a Honduran team. Has some national selectees from their very excellent national teams. Also going to have dignitaries, mayors, dentists, everybody. We're going to have a good time in Honduras at the capital and in another city of Honduras. And it's really an idea that we're going to be taking to Guatemala, across the U.S. with the Globetrotters Drug Free World. And you saw the video, and I didn't know if I was going to give you the real secret, you know, the ringer that we have on the team, but I got to give you a little brief view because it wouldn't be fair not to show him to you. So, engineer, let's put a few pictures up of our superstar. This is actually Bobby Hunter down on the lower right, who has organized the event. And there you see us at the Puerto Rican Day Parade. As we said, we've been doing these basketball events all over because, you know, sports is a great way of getting high, you know, of exercise, releasing your endorphins in the body that make you high. You don't need drugs. When you do sports, you get so excited. And now we're going to show you the ringer. So if you put up the pictures, Buddha, here we go. And here he is. You know, we want to let the cat out of the bag because the Honduran team may start preparing. But this is New Yorker There he is, Brandon Simmons, a.k.a., the Destroyer, the bombs away. He's quite something. Great guy. And he's going to be part of this tremendous team that we're bringing down to Honduras to entertain. We didn't want to give away all the secrets, so these are going to be only pictures because we don't want to, give away everything that we're bringing to Honduras. But Buddha, if we can, let's bring Brandon Simmons up live on the screen. There he is. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. How you doing? Nice to see you.
Well, I'm all excited. In about 6 days, we're going to land in Honduras, with our team, and the drug-free world education materials. And, let me ask you a question, because you're a young guy and you're an unbelievable basketball athlete. What do you think about what's going on with drugs and your proteges, your other young people in the country?
I think most kids just need direction and something to focus on, and basketball is a great place to put your focus on any sport, not only basketball, but any sport, any other thing other than stuff that we don't need.
It's so true, and it's interesting because with sports, like, let's say boxing, you get these two guys in there killing each other in the ring. The fight ends, and they actually hug, shake hands. The guy that wins has the respect of the other guy, but he doesn't belittle the other guy. It seems to me like sports brings that out, right? That there's something that it brings out in human relationship. What do you feel about that?
I think it's a respect thing, because we, on both sides, whether you win or you lose, you know how much work the other person put in, and you know that they're actually doing something with themselves, and you respect that. It's nothing else you can do but respect it. So I think playing sports, you gain a bond with other people that you wouldn't naturally get just by talking or anything, by having a conversation.
Basically, as a doctor, our bodies have what's called endogenous endorphins, also dopamine. And it's very interesting because the body by itself, when you do something very positive or exhilarating, or you're at a party, or at a wedding, that high feeling that you get is natural. And it's like nature exudes your own natural hormones, and you get high. But you get high naturally, which then is associated with something positive and underneath your control. Whereas when you do it with drugs, it's not that way. And so that's why we've added the sports into the drug education, because we want to give people, and especially youth, a way of actually feeling good. Obviously, dancing is another way, singing is another way, music, arts, and really also social interaction, because one of the positive things that came out of COVID is that because of the negative and people not being able to socialize, there was an increase in drug use and alcohol use, and there was an increase in disease. So you say, but Dr. Fialkov, what's positive about that? Well, what's positive about that is that we realize the importance of human interaction, of human communication, and that it's not just words out in the air, but there's actually much more energy that's involved. And so, we want to thank Bobby Hunter. We want to thank the Globetrotters for coming to Honduras, for making this, Kevin Daly, who's coming with us, who's the first Latin American Globetrotter, who's going to be with us also, who's going to be actually helping us run the show since it's his Central America, being Panamanian, and Honduras is his neighbor. And, you know, me, who was born in Cuba also. My wife is actually Venezuelan. It's going to be exciting. But this is an idea that we're going to bring also throughout the United States because we want to really save youth, families, communities everywhere. And we welcome you to join us. Welcome you to join us with Bobby Hunter's Art Against Violence, with Drug Free World at drugfreeworld.org, and or your own favorite program. And basically the thing is, let's help our communities. Social interaction, helping each other, those are the key. That's what we want to do. And soon we'll be in Honduras with this team, with our whole team also of Drug Free World and the Honduran College of Dentistry under the leadership of Dr. Marcos Garay and Dr. Mario Pinel, and the Ministry of Security and the Honduran National Police, which we're very excited to be there with, okay, who are actually sponsoring this tremendous event. And with our hats off to the Honduran government, the Honduran National Police, the Ministry of Security, for having such care and for really wanting to improve our world. For those of you watching, we hope you enjoyed this segment. It had many different languages, many different facets, like life is. Have a great night, and we'll see you on the next episode of A Time for Truth show.
This show was sponsored by A Time for Truth Foundation Incorporated as a community service.
Sometimes life can be so damn hard. You don't know where to go. Everything keeps falling apart. Yeah. You try to do your best, but only God knows that you've given everything you've got, but the world takes you down. You just keep moving on. Let your feet